There's a lot of stuff on the table today. Over the weekend, I've been trying to get my camping gear ready for the summer, and I was looking through this stuff, and I noticed I don't really have a lantern. I initially started looking at LED lanterns and just kind of like battery-powered things, but I decided it would be nice to have something gas. There's something kind of charming about these like older gas lanterns, kind of like a gas car. Like they're almost living. They eat, they gas, they breathe oxygen, and they have waste. So it's like it's something about these are just they feel more alive, even though they're more finicky. They're just more enjoyable to use, and yes, they're impractical, but nothing about camping is very practical. So that's not a good argument against these. So the one I'm holding right here is actually in working condition. It's model 288 Coleman lantern. It was built in '95 according to the stamp on the bottom of this, and it looked, I used it a little bit yesterday, but it looked like it had, maybe it's possible that this has maybe never been used. It was really clean when I got it. It was just covered in dust, like someone just opened it once and then put it back in the box. It actually came with the box, so that's what this box is here. So I'll get it out of the way to clear up space so we can have some room to work with here. If you see something fuzzy hanging up here, that's a microphone. I'm trying something new here. So let me talk about this other one really quick. This one is also, I think, this is also considered a model 288. This one was built in '85 according to the stamp, and it's actually a model. It's listed as a CL2, but I think that is just another name for a 288. I'm not a Coleman person, so maybe there's some Coleman people in the comments that can kind of clarify that. But there are some differences, like this pump housing, like a lot of little stuff is metal compared to the plastic on the one built in '95. There's also a heat shield in this one. I was reading a little bit, and the older ones didn't include a heat shield, and that could be a problem if some of the internal parts are plastic. So when I open it up, I'm going to check that out, because I might have to order either a heat shield or replace those plastic parts with metal to prevent it from melting. But I don't know if this one's in working condition. I opened it up and looked in the tank, and there's a lot of sediment in there, and it's pretty rusty. So before wasting new mantles on this to test it, I would rather clean it out and get it all nice. So I'm going to get the tank cleaned out. That's what all this cleaning stuff is here. I'm going to use the Simple Green for cleaning the painted stuff. I have some Loctite navel jelly that I'm going to use on the rusted metal parts. And I have some just citric acid. You can get citric acid at pretty much like a lot of grocery stores and Walmart and things like that. It's used for canning. So anywhere that sells canning goods, like balls jars, not balls jars, but ball jars, and things for canning fruits and vegetables and things like that will likely have citric acid in a powdered form. If you can't get this, you can use vinegar. So just so you know that. Simple Green is pretty much everywhere. A lot of hardware stores and automotive stores have those. So yeah, going back to this one. I bought this from an older woman. She was talking about her husband in the past tense. She was mentioning that this was his camping lantern, and he had used it and taken good care of it before he finally put it away. Given it, she was talking about him in the past tense. I think he possibly passed away, but she was very nice, and I'm hoping to give this lantern a new life and get some use out of it. So part of the reason I went with used is versus new is there's a story with these used things. This thing has been out. Someone really enjoyed it, like that woman's husband probably really enjoyed it, used it a lot in camping, and this thing has had a pretty interesting life up to this point. It's actually 5 years older than me, given it was built in '85. So that's not really something you can buy from Walmart or anything like that. This thing is going to have a story, and hopefully the story will continue on with me and eventually someone else. So I want to get this ripped down, get it into working condition, and hopefully it has a lot more life left in it. So I'll light this working one really quick so you can kind of see how these work, and then we'll get started on tearing this down. This isn't a tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing exactly, like many of my videos. So we'll just go with it and hopefully get that cleaned up. This might be a two-part video if I have to order a lot of replacement parts for this. So let me get this started. So you have to pump this up to get some pressure in the tank. There's already fuel in this. I'm not gonna run this too long because we're indoors and it's not well ventilated in here. So I'll get this started and then take it outside. So get some air in there. Close the valve. You still have to use a lighter or a match to light these. So there we go. What's interesting is that I originally thought these were powered, the light just came from the flame itself. But actually there's these two kind of little bags, you can't really see from the camera, but you can look up. There's these two bags that hang in there. And they're originally, they're cloth coated with this radioactive metal. And when they get heated, they glow very brightly. So the flame is actually just heating these bags. Well, it's actually metal now, since when you first put the bags on, all the cloth burns away and it just leaves that radioactive metal. Let me turn up the brightness of this a little bit. So yeah, it gets pretty bright. Yeah, you might not be able to tell because the camera's auto exposure is gonna adjust, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, you're not actually seeing the light coming from the flame. That's coming from that that metal emitting the light when it's heated up. So I guess there's a little correction there. Originally these were a radioactive metal. I think Coleman replaced all of those and started using a different metal in the 90s because of concerns around producing those mantles with that metal in it. So, but this is old, so I'm using the mantles that came in the box. So potentially these are the original radioactive ones. There's not a big danger to using them. It's more of a health issue for the people producing them. So now that you've seen that, I'm going to turn this off. It will cool down. I'm going to take it outside so it can cool down and vent, and I don't die of carbon monoxide poisoning while I'm filming this. So I'll be right back. So, alright, I'm back. Let's get to tearing this down. This is unfortunately pretty rusty. So, oh man, yeah, this is pretty bad. It looks like there's quite a bit of spider webs in here as well. So, I'll probably end up soaking a lot of this. Might as well put gloves on now. I have this here. Like I mentioned, some of the older mantles are slightly toxic. I don't think it's a big deal, but I do have a mask just in case. I feel like I want that extra protection. So let's get some of these parts in here. This I'll leave out. Okay. I'm gonna put the glass aside, separate from everything else. Okay, yesterday I emptied this out. There was actually fuel in it when I got it. But I have a close-up video that I'll overlay so you can kind of see how rusty this is. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let me get a wrench for this since... Oh, actually, I was prepared for that. This is pretty tight. This is all pretty soft brass, so I don't want to bend it. I might have to get some anti-seize. This video might end shorter than I expected. Let me see if I have anything here, and then we'll spray that down. I was able to break it loose without too much force. So like I mentioned earlier, I was a little worried about this one block being plastic, but it looks like it is metal. Oh, that's good. I don't have to order new parts of that. Let me take this out. Ooh, the all pin is fine. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. You can't tell, but there's a microscopic, looks like a hair, a pin on the end of this. So I'm gonna put this over here with the glass. This section over here is becoming my fragile stuff section. Alright. Surprisingly, it looks like there's a little piece of cardboard wrapped around that spring. So, alright, let's put this over here. Let's remove that next bolt. Oh, that one's not as tight. Nut, sorry. Not bolt. Ring in there. I need to take this front switch off. Bigger screwdriver, so I'm gonna strip that. I know I'm missing something here. There we go. So that's pretty nasty. I'm going to clean this. Probably soak it. I read a lot about there being spiders inside this tube, so let me check that. It does look like It's mostly clean. There's a little bit. Oh, actually no. This is good. So far so good. Let me get a mask actually. This is making me a little nervous. This is gonna look a little funny with my glasses, but bear with me. So this whole thing I'm going to try to coat with that navel jelly, and hopefully that'll get it nice and cleaned up. There's lots of shit coming off this. Lots of shit on here. Okay. Let me take these little parts out quickly. Throw them in here. Empty this out into my trash. This says to use gloves with it. Not gloves, sorry. It says to use a brush, so I'll make sure to grab one of those before we get there. So I want to get everything together that needs that jelly, so I'll wait for that. Alright, so let's get back to this. This can probably be hand cleaned. I'll use soap for this. Go with the soap stuff. Alright. This seems okay, actually. So I might have to go off camera for this. I saw people recommending that you put this in a vise, and then you just twist the body of the where the gas is held. So I might try that. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go. There's actually still a big peel in here, it sounds like. Okay, let me go take care of that, and then I'm gonna go put this in the vise and I'll be right back. So that actually took quite a bit of force to get out, but it should be loose enough now. Yeah. can see it's still pretty tight. There's a lot of rust on that. We'll clean that up. Oops. If I didn't bend something. I'm going to do a quick Google search on that. So the camera stopped filming, but you didn't miss too much. Pretty much all you missed was I took out the pump assembly. So we're going to put some acetic acid in there. Citric acid, sorry. And I'll go get some hot water in a bit to fill that up. So let's put that in. I'm just eyeballing it here. Ooh, that might be a bit too much, so I'll keep an eye on this. Let me get some hot water for this. Or actually, I'll just use regular water. Let me go fill that up. So while that's soaking, let's get some of this Loctite stuff on everything. All I have is a foam brush, so we're going to use that today. Stuff's really thick. This is not going to be that easy to work with. I'm not using the right type of brush either. I just want to cover all that really pitted stuff. Thankfully, the internals besides the tank didn't look too bad. The inside of this little breather element, I'm not sure the exact name of these, looked fine. Okay, do not use on aluminum, chrome. Too late. I don't know if this is, I don't think this is chrome. But, oops. I have the fuel cap in there. I think I'm going to replace that, but I don't want to damage the paint on that, so get that out. Hey Siri, timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes and counting.
Oh. Okay, should have done that earlier. I actually didn't realize those parts came apart. A lot of rust on this. Oh, this little knob on top is actually cleaning up pretty well. None of this is going to be perfect. I'm not super into restoration. I just want to get this working and kind of clean. So we can do that at least. I kind of want to clean the inside of this, but I'm not sure how I can do that safely. It just looks a little messed up in there. is. That jelly spread. It spread everywhere on this. Just a little bit. There we go. There's one giant patch of rust. I think it's rust or it's something that's bothering me. Actually, two. Give this all some time to work. Come back and move on. In the meantime, I'm probably gonna take these to go. I'll rinse these off. Just with some detergent and water. Nothing crazy. So I'll be back. Alright, so done cleaning most of the parts. Nothing's perfect, but it's all better than we found it, which is what I was going for. Just wanted it to be better than I found. So somehow wax got on this. It's kind of hard to clean off. So this is cleaned up. Cleaned up this. This was mostly soap. The inside, as you know, I was soaking it with the citric acid. So that's all cleaned up. It looks like they might have repainted this at some point because it looks like there's rust under the paint, but that shouldn't be the case. I was gonna clean this or polish this, but it actually feels really smooth in there. So, oh man, some of this paint's chipping off. I think I might put a wax on this when I'm done. So everything's dry. It's been blowing dry with the compressor. It's been cleaned. I had to hit this several times with the that navel jelly, and it still didn't get all the rust off. I got a lot off, but this is gonna be rusty the rest of its life. So we'll deal with that. I'm probably going to apply something on this to kind of prevent more rust from forming, but I'm not sure what yet. I'll have to look that up. So we are missing the main breather. I'm not sure what the name of that is. That's in the sink. I forgot to grab that. But we can start assembling things. So we're going to try to go off memory here. Let's see. Let's get the pump back in first. That's also at the sink. So I said this was in the sink and it was actually just right here. So that's there, that's dry. This is dry. I did, I polished the pump rod a little bit with steel wool. It's a bit unnecessary, but it looks a bit cleaner now. So let's get that back in. Make sure this is dry. Yeah, that's good. See, this builds pressure. Yep. So there's some pressure building there. Let's put that clip back on. It's right in front of me. Pump feels a little sticky. This does have an oil thing, so maybe I could put some oil in there to maybe kind of help with that. But it is building pressure, just I don't like how sticky it is. I'm an idiot. That's what happens when I'm trying to go off memory on something I've never done before. The little valve thing is missing. The little rod that goes down the middle of this. Try this again. Okay, much better. Make sure this is completely dry. I saw a lot of mixed things about whether or not to use thread sealer on this. I don't think I'm going to. brass is pretty soft, and I feel like it should make a good seal on its own. And I want to be able to take this apart again, probably at the end of summer, if I have time to go through it and just kind of make sure that it's still operating as expected. Okay. So look at this. Oh yeah, this is a lot smoother. Feels good. That's a commanding turn there. Feels a lot better. Yeah. I should have just been using this most of the time. So, alright, that feels tight enough. Hopefully we can get through this without having to buy any replacement parts. That'd be nice. This is the tightest part, so get really down and on there. It's a little wet still. Just realized the alignment is off with this. I should have thought about that before I tighten it so tight. This should be sticking out the front. I'll listen for leaks before I test this out. go find the fill cap. The thing I'm worried about is that little needle. I'm pretty sure I'm going to bend that. And I think that's why people don't really try taking that apart. Or they just replace the whole, I think that's called a generator. They just replace the whole thing. We'll see. Let's do this now so I can get frustrated when it doesn't work. I really can't believe how small that hole is. I can't even see it. Just gonna rub a little bit of motor oil, nothing crazy. Let's go rub on the seal. Feels so much better. I think we're pretty much done. I just need to put the mantles on. And then we can test this. I'm not going to test this inside. Because while I think I did this right, I've never done this before. So if it's gonna burn, I want it to burn outside. And I shouldn't be doing this inside in the first place. Or lighting it inside at least. Okay. Great. Probably just got motor oil in my hair. I'm doing that. Okay. Got a couple of mantles right here. These ones are a little bit different, they're metal. These have to be burnt with a lighter before you can use them. Should have done this outside. Yeah, I'm gonna take this outside. This is too smoky. Alright, so I think we're all done. I think this is a working condition. There's some gas in here. We'll go outside and we'll... I can clean in there a little bit better. We'll try this out. Hopefully it works. And hopefully nobody gets hurt. So, alright, let's go try this out. Alright, I don't hear it leaking. Just gonna... Yeah, let's give this another try. So it is going. Only one mantle is lit. Oh, there we go. We got it working. Let's see how it looks on camera. Pretty cool. So now we got 2 lanterns for this summer, and this one hopefully will get a couple more decades of use. I'm gonna let this burn a little bit just to get everything kind of settled, and I'm gonna clean up. So hopefully you see this on our camping trips this summer. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.